is that you have these 7 mats in varying degrees of agreement and disagreement, and you have a claim, and our claim today is the ostriches should be culled. So that's the claim, and you can either strongly agree, strongly disagree, or be neutral. And if I were doing this exercise, I'd probably be neutral, because I don't really know anything about it, and I've read some things, but I'm also slightly skeptical about government efforts to do these sorts of things, because I've seen it, lots of misinformation provided by governments about trans activists and Myanmar claims, and so I just want to hear what other people have to say, and then move according to who you've been convinced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these out, these mats, and then we're going to start, and I think I'm just going to go around this, I'm just going to lay them like this, although it has the disadvantage, or maybe I should do it like this, because then it should be face up, right?
Yes, it should be face up.
You think so?
Because I could do it like that, and then it would just go around.
Yeah, maybe do it the other way. So people can see it, the audience can see it.
And put them... Should I help?
So, for example, if I were doing this, which I'm not, I would be on the mat. Someone would ask me, why not on the mat? And I'd say, well, I've read a few things when I did this, and then outside just and then I would be governments have a lot of scientists and so on, and you've got to go around.
Like here? Stamping out bolts. So they have what's called, they just kill the, they pull the entire bird and they do this. And, I need to have a very, very well kind of hard position while stamping out. That's why. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to get Hal. So Hal, maybe you should come over here so we can introduce you to the audience. So Hal, your last name, Hal? Hewitt. Hotel Echo, Whiskey Echo, Tango Tango.
Okay, so Hal Hewitt, who also has a Twitter account called Free BC.
Yeah, at and the NDP.
Free BC at?
It is that the actual link is at and the NDP. I'm a former NDP supporter.
Oh,
now
yes,
I'm committed to destroying them.
And just as another topic, but and it might be related. Why are you committed to destroying the NDP?
Because they're neither new nor democratic. It's false advertising and it's gone Orwellian.
Okay. And can you give an example of how it's gone Orwellian?
Well, because Trump is such a threat to democracy, they introduced Bill 7 to suspend democracy in BC. That's a good example.
Oh,
Or if you
okay.
look at Bill 36, Bill 31,
Yeah.
there's any number. It's like alarming totalitarian language we're seeing.
Okay, so you've got to, in order to save democracy, you have to stop democracy temporarily.
Well, that's their claim, right?
Yes. It's
They
kind of
were
like
just
that-
they described in Bill 31 what they could do in the event of an emergency. They were
Okay.
waiting for an emergency.
Okay.
The emergency was Orange Man.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, so
He might want to participate as well.
okay. So do you mind being filmed? Okay. So which region? John? Are you from Calgary? Huh?
If you're interested,
What's that?
this is what we're doing here.
Canadian Food Inspection Agency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you could be a sheriff. How about that?
No, I'd rather not.
Okay.
But no, I just don't want you to waste that. Right?
Okay,
By
all
giving
right,
it to me.
yeah, I
Because
appreciate
it's
that,
just going to
yeah.
go on the table, right?
Right.
You know.
Okay.
But what, I mean, you're trying to save these things?
Well, yeah, it's about government overreach.
You got a hot mic.
Oh,
Do you? Yeah, you got a hot mic. Get him off of this 'cause
Hearing what people have to say about this. And Hal, this is Hal Hewitt, and Hal is, he was at the ostrich farm.
Okay.
yeah, for 5 weeks almost, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, and so he has some strongly formed opinions about this.
So this is a farm,
Yes,
and they're farming them
yes.
Well, yes, but not for food.
for what?
They have been used for immunological research.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent,
Okay.
excellent.
So these ostriches are they're being research. It's part of a research
Yeah.
kind of thing where they're kind of anyway. As far as I understand it, just to give a bit of background to the audience, some of them contracted an illness, and a number of them died.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And then they tested the remaining birds, and they were okay. I think.
No, they didn't. No, the story is in 2020, some birds died of a bacterial infection, Pseudomonas.
Okay.
And then in 2024, more birds died.
Okay.
And it was the Canadian Food Inspection Agency came and sampled 2 dead birds with high cycle rate PCR and said it was H5N1 and ordered all the birds destroyed and will not allow independent testing.
Okay. And so we don't know what the situation is for the remaining birds.
Which are clearly healthy. Like, have you ever
Yeah.
gotten sick and recovered?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, natural immunity is real.
Okay.
So that's why I'm here. I would be dead if I didn't have a robust immune system.
Okay. Okay. So 2 birds died. The other birds.
No, like around 39 or something like that.
Oh, 39 died.
Yeah.
But this was of the bird flu?
Well, we don't know.
Oh,
This is
okay.
according to the CFIA's high cycle rate PCR.
Oh, okay.
But it could have been Pseudomonas was
Oh,
a
okay.
factor. We don't know. They
Okay.
won't allow any questioning of their.
Okay. So 39 died. So this is the facts?
I'm a little. Was it 49? I mean, it might have been 49. Sorry, I think it was
Okay.
around 49.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was dozens. Dozens died.
Like there was around 450, then it dropped down to 400, and then since two have been killed.
So that was 20%. That's the way you should look at it. It was 20%. It's how you perceive numbers.
Yeah.
Will make you think about the issue differently.
Okay.
So 80% are healthy.
Yeah,
Or we don't really know whether they are
Well,
healthy.
they
or
must be because they're not dead.
I've spent a lot of time with these birds, and they're very curious and
Okay.
healthy-looking animals. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they would all died. They all died about the same period, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
When you're talking about the 49.
Okay.
Because that happens with lobsters and all kinds of animals, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
When they appear in a confined space, and a soccer stadium's
okay.
a confined space.
Okay.
I can assure you of that. So, they're confined, these birds.
Okay.
So the strong ones lived.
Yeah.
And actually, we've done that through history. Actually put diseases in with people to find out who the strong ones are. And we
Okay.
used them to breed, and the rest of them we got rid of.
Okay.
And
Okay.
two, in all cases, healthy animals are more resistant to
Yeah.
disease.
Yeah.
So the battery hens that they have, the agribusiness
Okay.
conditions in which they have poultry, like, is not healthy.
Okay.
There's poor air circulation, poor feed. They don't get around
Okay.
and all that.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of the introduction to the issue. These ostriches are there's an order to cull them.
Yeah.
There's people fighting against it. There's people who are arguing it should happen. We were hoping, we did put the call out today to try to get people, because we know Hal is going to be on the strongly disagree mat, probably. I'm not sure 100%, but probably. We want to get someone who would be on the strongly agree mat, but no one has materialized. So as far as I understand it, Kathy Drake has been reading up on the subject matter, and she's going to try to do the unless you're that's your position. So in terms of both of you, in terms of what mat you would stand on in response to the ostriches should be culled, where would you
I am
be?
strongly disagree.
Okay, so Hal would be on the strongly disagree mat,
I'm here with the ostrich.
and John, whereabouts would you
And
be?
I'd probably stand next to him.
Okay, so he's going to be on the strongly disagree.
Here.
There we go.
We're both on the strongly disagree.
Two against one.
Okay, so we want to find out. So for Street Epistemology, we get people on the mats, and then we ask them why they have such. It's a high degree of certainty in one direction.
Yes.
So, Hal, maybe you could just, since you've been kind of involved with this issue, what makes you be on the strongly disagree mat?
For the reasons given by the CFIA, simply they will not allow independent testing to confirm their claim that A, the birds have active H5N1, and that B, it poses a risk, because in fact the H5N1 is endemic throughout the wild bird population. So for their stamp out policy to be effective, they would have to kill all the birds in the world, not just these flightless ostriches in a remote BC community.
Okay, so just I saw that in your literature, the stamp out policy. You did mention this, the stamp out policy.
Yeah.
What is the stamp out policy?
Suspicion that a flock has H5N1 will trigger the stamp out policy, which is kill all the birds. Kill
Okay,
them all.
and why
Let
is
God sort them out.
and why is that the policy? Like, why do they have to kill all the birds?
I
Or
believe
why do they claim they have to kill all the
it
birds?
comes from the World Organization for Animal Health, which is a murky extra-national bureaucracy, I think affiliated with the United Nations.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and they argue. Sorry, did we get why they say they got to do that?
Because they think that H5N1 is a hazard to humanity, and they're trying to spread the fear that it is going to be like COVID. Actually, COVID never even was a significant threat to healthy people of all ages either, but they were quite successful in fear mongering.
Yeah.
And so, like here again, they're trying to spread this fear
Over the bird
of a
flu.
bird flu.
A
Yeah.
bird flu. They've been doing this through history.
Yeah.
They did it in my country to our cattle.
Okay. And what
The
country is
mad
that?
Scotland.
Scotland.
We had the
Okay.
most beautiful cattle and animals in the world.
Okay.
And the government, who'd never even been to these farms and up in the Highlands of Scotland,
Yeah.
demanded we slaughtered them.
Okay.
Beautiful. We have lost, this man can tell you and other people understand, we have lost DNA now of these animals.
Yeah.
And we should be open with the research and prove it to us that they actually have this. But didn't Jesus, when his followers, they were in the desert, didn't they live off of birds? When they put the nets into the sky to catch them and feed all his people? So this has been going on for many, many years. And if the bird flu, these flus were that bad, I think we'd all know a lot more about it. A lot more. But we know nothing about this.
I
Because
hear
it's not an
birds.
issue.
There's birds right near us.
So, but I'm just trying to get to the rationale that the government has provided as to why it needs to kill all the birds. Has it provided a rationale?
Because that is their stamp out policy and we cannot question it. That's what the Judge Zinn ruled, is that yes, the CFIA somehow has jurisdiction, although these are not for food. B, that they are a legitimate organization, and C, that that is their policy and we can't question it or their experts. And if we want to change it, it has to be on the political level.
Yeah.
It has to be a political change.
And this is the
Like
problem.
yeah.
This is politics. This isn't about this gentleman or me or you or the birds.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is all politics.
Oh yeah.
This is absolutely politics.
Okay, so
Because those United Nations are telling these people what to do.
yeah.
They don't
Okay,
care.
that's an interesting angle on it. It's
I
United
believe
Nations
that's it. And
being-
that's an area where most people don't want to get involved now.
Yeah.
It's because most of these issues are now going back to politics. They're so linked that what are we supposed to say?
Okay.
We should have freedom of choice. And these birds are not doing us any harm in Calgary, or I've never heard of it in BC.
Okay.
Ostriches are a rare animal.
Yeah.
They're not exactly all over the world, are they?
Mm,
I'm actually surprised to hear that they had a few of them, and it is a few of them.
yeah.
But it'd be good to look at the numbers because they're from Australia, aren't they?
No, that's emus. The ostriches are more African.
Africa.
They're a
okay.
related bird. I can't
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
the
yeah. I'm
genus,
sure they
but,
are.
yeah.
But it'd be good to look at their numbers too, and how long they've been in existence.
Okay. But then just in terms of trying to understand why it is that, like, we're just going to try to understand why the government would have this policy. So the government has decided that it's going to do this. Now, one of the things, as I understand you correctly, is that because the United Nations, which is not very transparent, has kind of dictated, is it dictated or is it just advised?
Well, it's a policy that we are, I guess, signatory to. No, we must be signatory. I'm assuming that we are signatory to this policy, but now our main trading partner, the USA, is strongly in favor of not culling the ostriches, so it doesn't affect our trade with the USA, certainly.
Okay, so we're signatory of this UN agreement.
World Organization Animal Health.
Okay, okay, the
Yeah.
World Organization of Animal Health.
Yeah.
Because we're a signatory to this agreement, we abide by certain types of dictates, and one of them is when a flock of birds, a couple of them have been determined to have bird flu, all of the flock is killed.
That's right. I think I've heard more than 200 million chickens in Texas were destroyed by the same thing. It was, I think, 8.7 million birds in British Columbia since 2022 have been destroyed.
Okay.
And it's really caused serious interruption of the food chain and food
Oh,
supply.
price.
Yeah,
Okay.
price.
And what do they do about the wild animals that are flying now?
Well, clearly they have to stamp them all out. Because
So
that's
they
where
want
it's
to kill all
coming
the
from.
wild animals?
Well, if they're serious about this stamp out policy, it is the wild birds that are the vectors. So let's get real, And I need to make a disclaimer, and in no way do I represent Universal Ostrich Farms of Edgewood BC.
Okay. But you were drawn, you spent 5 weeks at the ostrich farm?
Yeah, just about, quite nearly. And I am going back.
Okay. And you were drawn there because, why did you just decide to go to the ostrich farm?
It's not about the ostriches, it's the underlying factors here. Like, this touches on not being able to question the government experts, thus science. And those who question male pregnancy are called hateful bigots.
Okay.
Those who suggest that natural immunity is real get attacked and censored and canceled. So it's about transparency, it's democracy, property rights, scientific, wait a sec, I even have it right here. Scientific integrity, sovereignty, democracy,
And
food
this is a
security.
pamphlet that Hal's been handing in.
Yeah.
Okay, but some might question your objectivity in this regard.
Uh-oh.
What?
The live stream, we might be getting reported by the ostrich people. Live, my ex.
Is that publicity? Is it?
No, it means that they're
Bullying. Shall we start? town?
Yeah, we're
You
just
see, this is political. And I don't want to really go there, to be honest with you. And neither does this guy. But this is all politics. This is UNO ramming us down our
When
throats.
it got reported where he's from.
We don't know we don't know exactly what's happening.
We don't know.
Yeah, the broadcast is not available.
Thank you for your effort, man. Pleasure. Cheers, man. Thank you,
So I
lady.
can fire it up again.
Okay.
Too bad that
I don't know why the ostrich farm is doing it because you're kind of supporting their position.
there's some very interesting.
They want to control. They have a spokesperson, and they want everything completely controlled. No debate, no.
Well, and yet I tried to contact the people to discuss how to answer my messages. I'm doing like I've done. I mean, I've been down to averaging 2 hours sleep.
So I've got a camcorder. If you want to do this footage.
Yeah.
It's not as great though, obviously. We can upload it to YouTube. So we'll see what happens.